This your favorite nephew, cousin, right? Back with some more Tuesday jams. Gave y'all that Monday motivation. Seen some people was rocking with that. Shout out to the comments. I ain't forget about you. You know, appreciate you for at least getting half of the message, right? We just gonna leave it right there. Got some water in, out here. We out here. But I want to jump right in these Tuesday gems. I ain't gonna keep it too long. I know y'all felt the last Monday motivation, so that was cool. Tuesday gems hopping into don't lack personal accountability. Don't lack personal accountability, and I'm gonna tell you why that's really important in a few seconds. Right? Nose itching, can't scratch my nose on camera because people looking at me. Right? But you know, don't lack personal accountability because number one, um, real life don't really work like that, right? Yeah, it might slide and be cool with your family or those close in your circle, but real life don't work like that. What I mean by that is, you ever had somebody that you were close to or in your circle or friend group or even a relative, and everybody, when they do something or dealing with them, they automatically say, "Oh yeah, you gotta watch out for them. They got anger issues. That's how they is. They funny at it. They look crazy. You gotta watch." That's not personal accountability. You're not holding those people accountable. You just talking it up as that's how they is. No, and the world is gonna eat them up, or they gonna always catch hell because they're lacking that personal accountability to deal with those problems that they have. Yeah, they funny acting, child. Oh yeah, that's just how they are. They kind of, yeah, you don't want to mess with them. They kind of, that shit ain't gonna do nothing but cripple them and handicap them. And the real world is gonna beat their ass eventually. They may slide, because of that's how they are. That's how they are. That's how they were made. And like I said, some people may get away, but more than likely, eventually life is gonna beat their ass. That's just simple as that. Another reason why you should have personal accountability because eventually you're gonna start running out of people to blame, right? Yeah, some people have terrible childhoods or terrible upbringings or adolescent areas. I get that, but at what point are you gonna use that personal accountability to say, hey, you know what? Yeah, I went through this. Yeah, I survived this, but it's not the end of the world, right? I can actually do something about this. Maybe if I actually try to treat my trauma or try to better myself, maybe my life and situation won't look like this, right? That's dealing with that personal accountability, right? Um, yeah. And the reason I feel like so strongly about this topic and I don't want to go all day is because of I know so many people that just chalk it up. Oh, that's how they is. That's just you can't tell them nothing. You can't. Um, that shit ain't cute or cool. Like it's because a lot of times they doing some wild shit or some dumb shit when they know that it's not right. But like I said, eventually life will start kicking their ass, and they'll be wondering why. It's because you don't accept that personal accountability that you're not perfect. Yeah, it's not your world. Everything ain't gonna go your way, right? You have to deal with the issues you have. Um, yeah, things have happened to you. I get that. I understand that wholeheartedly because things happen. But you have to have that personal accountability to heal from that and want to get better and understand that it's more than life than your trauma. It's more than life than your bad upbringing, your bad circumstance. Everybody else shouldn't have to suffer because you lack personal accountability, right? That's a strong one, right? And I feel like I ain't gonna get too many views or too much love on that one because a lot of people lack that. They feel like it needs to go their way. It's their world. We just living in it. Yeah, no, real life don't work like that, right? Um, that and they be feeling like the world owe them something because of how they were brought up, right? Or that, and I'm learning Has nothing. Well, it kind of does. What I'm learning is a lot of people wasn't raised. A lot of people were tolerated until they were old enough to get pushed off onto the real world of somebody else. I learned that shit. I've been learning that shit for the last few years. That shit is sad. When you look at it, you're like, oh my god, you was raised like this. You gotta think they weren't. They weren't raised. They weren't told, hey, yeah, it's not gonna go your way, or hey, you need to actually work on this. Hey, the world ain't gonna be your friend, right? It's a little gnat in here. I'm sorry, y'all. The world ain't gonna really be your friend, especially with an attitude like that, right? And I really just wanna. I might have to leave it right there because I can really go on for this rant like hours. Because people lacking that personal accountability ain't gonna do nothing, like I said, but harm them in the long run, or they gonna just catch hell and they not gonna understand it because they not dealing with that trauma. They not dealing with the effects of really understanding that, hey, you're wrong at times, or more than likely, most of the time, you're wrong. You're wrong, right? Uh, and your favorite nephew, cousin, I don't care who you are, I'm gonna tell you, if you're wrong, you're wrong, right? And a lot of people can't handle that, and a lot of people, don't like me because of that, because I want them to have that personal accountability, right? At some point in your life, you gotta sit back and be like, was I responsible for this? Was I responsible for what was kept happening to me? Um, like one of my OGs say, shout out to Uncle RW. He says, if you interacted with 20 people and then you just not like what you getting or whatever the situation is, the only thing those 20 people had in common was you. So it's like all these problems that's going on, the only thing that's really the problem for real is you. So I'm gonna leave that alone, but don't lack personal accountability, right? I'm gonna leave it alone. Peace. Tuesday Jams.